So we know that the clever copywriting community is brilliant for people who've just started out, who are really new to the whole freelancing and copywriting journey. But what about people who've been doing it for a while? If you're an experienced copywriter, is it still worth joining? So I'm Matt Fenwick. I run a copywriting and content strategy business here in Canberra. And when I joined the copywriting community, I've been running my business for about 5 years. I've been a professional writer of one kind or another for about 20 years. So why did I join? Things were going pretty well in my business. I was getting close to earning as much as I was in my comfortable government job. But even though financially things were going well, I missed something, and that was the sense of belonging. The sense of having people that you could hang out with and just share your day with and share your experiences with. Even though I'm naturally off the charts introverted, I missed that sense of having people to hang out with. So that was why I was interested in the copywriting community. And I knew Kate from the Recipe for SEO Success e-course and her prolific social media and blogging and everything that she'd done there. And from getting to know Kate a little bit through her course in particular, I just got a sense that this wasn't going to be like your average Facebook online group. What do I mean by that? Well, my sense is that a lot of LinkedIn groups and a lot of Facebook groups have a couple of problems. So firstly, they lack focus. Even where the groups are fairly active, it feels somehow diffuse. The conversations trail off, there's lots of strands, but there's not really that sense of a shared experience. And also, a lot of these groups can just be full of article spam. Oh my goodness, I posted something, everybody please like it. And what I noticed even very, very early on with the copywriting skill community is that it's very, very different. There's minimal self-promotion, I would say zero, and there's a lot of genuine sharing, questioning, conversations, laughter, silliness, hashtags. And the other thing I appreciate about it is that the community's there when you need it. It's there for you to use in whatever way makes sense for you. So there are some people who might just pop in very occasionally to post a job or to share a win. And then there are other people who seem to spend most of their waking life on there. But both of those are totally fine. It's not like those mastermind groups or the business networking international groups where there is an expectation that you have to turn up every day and you have to refer a certain number of leads and you have to kind of drink the cultish Kool-Aid. The group is there for you to make whatever you want out of it. And so as someone who's highly independent / a little bit stubborn, personally, I love that it's just there for you to use as you need it. And because there's so many other copywriters on there, for me, it's actually been a really great source of team members. So even though I'm set up as a sole trader, I do outsource a lot of work. That's not something that every freelance copywriter is going to want to do. There's very good reasons not to do it, but for me, it makes sense. And 90% of the people that I've used in my business, I've found through the clever copywriting community. And the reason that that's so useful as a pool of people is that you have a chance to actually get to know people before there's even a conversation about recruitment. You just see what they're like, see what they're into, see if you feel like you gel with them. And I've just been so thrilled, so happy with the caliber and the skills and the support that I've found in the community. So the second reason I joined is look, it sounds cheesy and a little bit American, but it's about giving back. You know, I reached a point where I wasn't absolutely scrambling for leads every day. And so I was wondering, what else is there? Where are the opportunities for me to contribute to something other than just my bottom line? And to me, Kate's community is an amazing place to both give and receive generosity. And because there's so much trust there, it's a place where you can certainly share your wins, and people do that. But it's also a place where you can share the struggles, the fails, the client that is making you lose sleep, the time where you have to put your hand up and go, look, I screwed up. And what I realized is that in that community, sharing those things, sharing the mistakes and the struggles is just as useful as sharing the wisdom or the tips or the tactics, because it's really cathartic to do the equivalent of like banging my head on the keyboard for a couple of minutes and have people just say, yep, that really, really sucks. But also, for other people, me sharing that means that, number one, they can say, well, okay, I'm going to avoid that situation. Or I'm in that situation right now. Thank goodness, thank goodness I'm not alone. And so that sense of the group as a forum for generosity is something that I value so much. And in terms of the dynamic, Kate is very, very obviously the heart and the brains and the coordinator, the moderator of the group. Her presence and her commitment, her participation is a huge part of what makes the group so vibrant and so dynamic. The other thing, though, is that it's not just all about Kate. It's not all about one person. And what I've seen from other online communities is that it feels a bit like it feels a little bit funnily, that the people are meant to join the group and then they're going to sign up for the mastermind program and then they're going to buy the this, that, and the other. And it's all about one person's success. And in this group, you obviously have Kate, but you have plenty of other people there who have 15 to 20 years experience, way more than me. And then you have people who have 2 days experience. And the fact that range of experience has a sense of belonging and a sense of being valued in the group is really rare. I've not found any other places on the internet, or for matter in business networking, that are that cohesive and that are also that open. I would say, though, that if you're an experienced copywriter, you're starting to have to make some strategic decisions about where you put your time and your money. And you're asking questions like, what's the ROI on the group? Well, I've shared a little bit about what the emotional return for me is and the sense of satisfaction I get from it. But in pure dollar terms, one job that I got as a direct result of the community has paid for my membership of the group for the next 142 years. So I hope the group's around that long. So the final reason that I joined the group is to learn. I mentioned up the top that I'm fairly experienced and in some ways reasonably confident, but we're all learning. And I might have areas that I'm quite strong in and other areas where I don't have experience. I don't have agency experience. I don't have any formal marketing training. And there are people in a group who do have that. People who've got 15 to 20 years experience. So I learn from them. And also, being a copywriter is not like riding a bike or walking or breathing, where once you learn it, that's it. You've got that stuff nailed. It's easy to forget things, whether it's following a process or some of the finer points of client communication. And a group is a place where that stuff gets talked about a lot. So I'm always reminded of it. And it's also a place where I'm challenged. I've got my first ever conference speaking gig directly through the group, so as part of CopyCon. And also, as because I was in the group, I have a shot at speaking at TEDx. Right now, it's an open question about whether I'll get in. They've contacted me, we're talking. But without the group, I would have said no. And that may sound crazy, but I had very, very good reasons for saying no, e.g. new kid. But by putting that question out there to the group and looking at people's encouraging, non-judgmental, questioning responses, I was able to come back and actually change my mind. And I'm so glad I did, because if there's one major thing that the group has taught me, it's that I'm capable of a lot more than I realise. And whatever stage of career that you're at, that need to keep pushing yourself and keep being stretched, that never goes away. And so for me, the community is the place where I'm reminded of that every day. So I hope to see you in there. It's a fantastic community. I've got so much out of it, and it's one of the best decisions that I've made for my business.